Big addition.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Two Broke Dads, episode 3. We are back. It's been a long 3 weeks, man, but we love doing this. And yo, when I say we are two broke dads, I do not mean we are broke, but we are definitely broke, which means we are too broke to let you hold something. So please do not ask. It is 2018. You need to get a job. Jesse, how you feeling today, man? What's good?
I'm good, bro. I'm good, man. Yanni or Laurel, bro? What do you hear?
I just hear Laurel. I listened to it from. I mean, I don't know. I didn't really follow the whole Twitter rant or anything like that. I saw it pop up on the feed. I clicked it. I listened to it. I heard Laurel, and I kept it moving. I wasn't killing myself like the blue and the purple dress or whatever the hell that was.
Right. Well, I see the white and gold, but when I was watching this morning, all I heard was Yanni. And even people on my job, I'm a doorman, so there's delivery people there, and they're like, because the news had it on, I hear Yanni. So I'm like, yeah, I know, right? And then I got home, and I showed my mom on the laptop. I'm like, what do you hear? And then I hear Laurel. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And now the funny part is I can't stop hearing Laurel. I can't, I went back to my phone and it still says Laurel. But what I do like about this little silly argument and stuff is the fact that it's a silly argument. This is America having fun with each other. I don't know. I enjoy this kind of shit because it's like, bro, what did you hear? What did you hear? It kind of brings us closer together. I mean, I'm not talking about world peace right here, but you know what I mean?
Nah, I hear you. Definitely, world peace would be awesome if it was really that easy. Just put that out and be like, yo, what do you guys hear? Be like, oh, North Korea, you hear Laurel? Yeah, we hear that too. All right, cool. We're gonna put the nukes away because we're all hearing Laurel. Fucking South Korea pops up and we hear Yanni, and fucking the beef's back on, nigga. The beef is back on. I told you it said Laurel.
Nah, but I'm see, yeah, you made it funnier, but I'm dead serious. This could bring a conversation with. This is a party conversation. I mean,
I don't know. I've never been to a party where that was where that was really that popping. But I mean, I see what you're saying though. It was definitely a viral moment, and everybody was talking about it. I seen mad people doing their own shit, saying two different names at the same time, or whatever. It was cool though. I mean,
yeah, that would be dope though. At the summit, hearing if Kim Jong-un and Trump both said, I hear Laurel. Yeah, me too. What the hell is that? And they shook hands.
Yeah, definitely, man. It was funny. It was funny, man. I mean, it's been a pretty dry news week, though, man. What's going on out there?
I mean, there was a few things I wanted to talk about. Well, This is America. Which is one of my favorite tracks. Do you still want to... Can we still shed a little light on that?
Yeah. What you thinking?
Well, when I saw all the representations of it... Oh, and by the way, there was a Canadian YouTube star.
Yeah, I seen that shit. It was whack. Thumbs down. I made 3 more accounts just to give it 3 more thumbs down,
bro. Thumbs down heavy,
it's hard. It's hard to say thumbs down. No, it's not. It's easy for me to say thumbs down. I agree with her message about inequality with women, but I think
that didn't come through like that.
No, but you know why? Her message didn't come through the correct way because, her message was true. What she said was true about, equal rights for women and struggles with women. Like, I'm fully supportive of that, but I don't think that was the proper vehicle to use to express that message. Like, she's not funny. Like, one, she's just not funny. Two, like, yo, the bitch is just not funny. Like, she's not funny. So whether she wants to say that that was a funny thing or a political thing or however she wants to spin it, it was in poor taste to take something that, it was just poor taste to put out such a horrible parody. And I don't want to call it a parody because I think she did it with serious intent. It looks stupid. It was dumb. It was a waste of time. It was a waste of production money because, like, they actually seemed like they put a lot of effort into it, and whatever point she was trying to get across just did not come across well. I agree with her ideas. I don't agree with the execution. She should have just left it alone. Well, like, just leave that track alone.
I was cringing the more and more she went on.
Yeah, because it was so uncomfortable to watch. Like, yo, I watched it this morning. I seen it pop up. So I watched it this morning. Like, I saw someone else talking about it, and then I was like, what is this shit? So then I was like, who is this person? I was like, oh, she's the one who's made the thing like hello fat people or hello black people or something like that.
Yeah, hello fat people, yeah.
You know, and she got a little shine off of that. That went viral. And then she did the hello black people one, and, you know, and this one, whatever this is, mockery of, you know, what I considered, I thought the Donald Glover thing was dope. Donald Glover thing was dope. I think it was
she was trying to.
What are you saying? I'm sorry.
No, my bad. I don't think she meant it to be a mockery.
Yeah, but it is.
I'm not defending her. No, I know. I'm not defending her. But I'm just saying, in my own opinion, I don't think she meant it to be a mockery, if that makes any sense.
No, I don't think she. Like I said, I really think she did it in a sincere way, and she meant all seriousness in her ideas. It was just a bad execution. This wasn't the right vehicle to do it. But in this day and age, you have to get some type of, like, yo, you know what they say? Any press, good press or bad press, is press. Good press or bad press is still good press. People are talking about you. So her stand on what she wanted to say is still going to come across. But you do have to deal with the critics and people who don't feel that that was a good way to get your message across. And I'm on that side of the fence. You know, I'm not on the side of the fence where I'm going to say, like, oh, yeah, that was awesome. Like, good job, whatever. I don't even know her name. I want to say, like, that's the thing. I don't even know this person's name. Like, it's not memorable to me. I watched it. It was, like you said, it was cringeworthy, and I probably will never listen to it again. Because, like, it's almost as if she was mocking Donald Glover. Like, I get it. Because, all right, what if she just put the song out, right? And she didn't put a video out? Do you think the reaction would have been different?
I think the reaction would have been more positive, actually.
If she did a song without a video. You know why? Because in the video, she had to mock everything that was done by Donald Glover.
Right.
And
like,
I think that's where the negative.
Black lady sit on the seat. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not pulling it. See, and I'm not gonna go that deep. I'm not gonna pull it apart by the race of any person in there. Like, when I wasn't.
No, but that lady sitting on the seat just made no sense.
Well, no, she was. When I saw the lady on the seat, I wasn't thinking about. I wasn't thinking about her being black. I just saw her being a lady who was breastfeeding. That's all I took from it. And her snapping the picture of it, kind of showing, like, you know, how some people are.
It's. I mean, look at what you're comparing. You're comparing,
you know, the art that Donald Glover put out, you know, which I thought was pretty dope. I know there's some people who say that wasn't a great song, or, you know, the imagery wasn't that great, but I thought altogether, like, that video is something.
I haven't met one person.
Yeah, it's terrible. Like, I'm like literally looking at it right now, and all I'm thinking is, like, how horrible it is that it is a mockery of Donald Glover's video. It really is. It's put the song up by itself. Get your message across. If it has a positive impact, then you put out a video. But maybe put out a creative video. Maybe put out a more creative video. Not a parody or just straight up joke / mockery of what came out. And that's where I think the disrespect comes from. Because she's mocking Donald Glover. Her name is Nicole Arbor. Nicole Arbor is her name, by the way. Hopefully this is the last time we ever hear from her or have to say her name.
I don't want to say that. I think she made a mistake. I truly don't feel those were her intentions.
It's never their intentions when it gets negative press.
That's true. The video gave me bad vibes too, just the way.
Let's think about it. Like, I'm going to take something, for example, that I don't know why it just popped up in my head. I think it's because I'm sitting in my hotel and I have a can of Pepsi. But remember that, was it Kendall Jenner commercial?
Right.
She had the Pepsi?
Right.
Like, no one was like, before they put that out, no one thought like, yo, this is kind of a bad idea. But they put it out. They put it out and they let it sit. And there was an
SNL skit on that.
Yeah, that SNL skit was dope too. But like, when the response to it was negative, all of a sudden you hear like, oh, that wasn't our intent. That wasn't our intent. It's never, the intent is always pulled back and said like, that wasn't the original intent when it's negative. But if no one said anything, like, do we just accept that for the way it is or realize like, no, it's wrong?
See, but I don't know, because of the fact that if somebody comes to me like, oh, bro, I want you to do a Pepsi commercial. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, all right, they must know what they're doing. And in the front of my mind, I'm thinking like, oh, I'm going to become famous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but this girl was already famous. All right, so here. How about this? You get a call, and they're like, "Oh, Jesse, we want you to do a Pepsi commercial." And you're like, "Oh, no doubt, I'm gonna do it. Whatever. We're gonna fly you out to wherever. We're gonna do a Pepsi commercial. We want you to be the star of the Pepsi commercial." You get out there. They give you the script, and you look at it. You're like, "All right, cool, sounds good." You start recording it, and in this Pepsi commercial, they tell you you're going to be, let's say it's a Halloween commercial. And they want you to go as Bill Cosby. Now, right before you walk out of wardrobe, like, oh, hold on. And they put you in blackface. Are you still going to do the commercial because you want the money, you want to be famous? Or your morals going to kick in and say, like, nah, guys, I think this is a bad idea.
I have two answers for the people listening to this show. Because I remember you pranked me one time saying you want me to wear, you called me as an unknown director that you want me to wear a kangaroo uniform, and I was down for it. So I was down to be famous. A blackface nowadays, well, even back then, I mean, that's just racist.
Yeah, but if you do it and they put it out there and then people look at you like, yo, what the fuck? Why would you do that? Are you going to say then, yeah, but that wasn't my bad. That wasn't our intentions. We couldn't find a Bill Cosby mask at the joke shop because, you know, Bill Cosby's not popping right now. So,
I don't know. I think that's a bad example, bro. I really do. Like,
all right. You're right. That's a bad example. I don't have a great one off the fly, but like, yo, the Nicole Arbor thing, it was whack. Thumbs down, 2 thumbs down, 3 thumbs down.
Oh, yeah, of course. You know, like, it was horrible. You know what made it worse? It was just cringeworthy. Because she's actually selling sexuality also. She's like, bang, bang, bang. So she's selling This is what people don't talk about. She's selling sexuality during a song about raping girls that you shouldn't.
How do you think she's selling sexuality?
Oh, look at my titties. Well, I guess that means for the rape, I don't know. It was just a weird song, bro. I was turned off 1,000% from it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean, I'm not. It's not like it wasn't like This Is America where you had to watch it 5 times to get all of it. Like I watched it once and I was like, yeah, this is pretty shitty.
right.
But yeah, man, that shit was whack. But
Let's get on to This Is America, though.
nah, this okay. The
And,
original This Is America by Donald Glover, not anything else you've seen, any other parody. The
right.
original This Is America, it was dope. Like it was a dope song. I never knew Donald Glover could dance like that. So shouts to Donald Glover for killing it with the dance moves. It was a dope video. Like a lot of the things that people didn't miss, oddly enough, a lot of the things, because I watched a lot of videos that were like, oh, 10 things you missed in This Is America. And I saw those things, but I also I watched it like 2 or 3 times because I watched it once and I was like, oh, it's a pretty dope song. And then I watched it again. I was like, damn, Donald Glover can dance. And then when I watched it the third time is when I started seeing the things happening in the background and understanding what was going on. Because at least the point of the video that I saw was how horrible things are happening right now in this world. And media, music, entertainment is just a distraction because it took me 2 or 3 times to watch the video before I started seeing some of the things that were going on in the background. So the point of the video was made very clear because it did exactly that. All his dancing and facial expressions and the kids dancing with him took away from everything that was happening behind him.
Right.
And it's almost like if you don't see it, it's almost too late. Just like the real world now. If you don't catch the problem, by the time you go back, you can't change it. It's already happened.
All right, don't sound too deep, bro. You're just about it. It
is a deep video. When you really think about it, it is a deep video. It's not.
I know.
It's not subtle. But the thing is, it's not meant to be subtle. If you think it's subtle, then you're not expanding. You have a very closed mind. If you just watch the video and you're like, oh, Donald Glover can dance. That's awesome. And
I think
there's so many layers to the video, and that's why I thought it was so dope.
And the fact that you can have it on replay value. That's what I like about it. Like, it's only 3 minutes, so it's not like a 15-minute message. And I think people don't talk about this. He got his point across in 3 to 4 minutes.
Yes, it's a 4-minute video, just about.
Right. So people without attention spans, if you're like, yo, you gotta watch this video. If it's like a 12-minute video with meaning, half of the people aren't even gonna watch it. But he gets his point across from the gate to the end. And then you're obsessed with it where you're watching it for hours on end. But you get what I'm saying here?
Yeah. I mean, you gotta think beyond the dancing, the very first thing that he did in the video, the very first thing I noticed in the video was the gentleman sit down with a guitar and then realize that it's the same gentleman, and now he no longer has his guitar and he has the bag or the cloth over his face. And the very first thing he does is he shoots that guy out. One thing that I thought was weird because, from a production standpoint, it looked like the video was one continuous shot. And I always, when I go back to it, I'm like, yo, I don't remember seeing the gun tucked in his pants. If you watch, when we're done, go back and watch the video. The video starts and he's starting his
but
dance.
is that necessarily supposed to be? I mean, does that matter to the video? Because he even gives it away. I don't think that matters.
No, I'm just very detail oriented.
Yeah, but he even gives it away to somebody. So, where did that person come from?
Well, they came from off camera. But the whole reason of them. I mean, if you think about it, in the beginning of the video, you don't see anyone in the warehouse other than the gentleman with the guitar, and then him. And then right as he takes that first shot is when the chaos begins.
My dude, I swear, this is why I can't have no conversation with you, because you just... You ever try stand up, bro?
No, it wasn't. I mean, I could have, but I didn't. But yo, if I did stand up, then I wouldn't be here to bring you guys Two Broke Dads. So everybody wins.
Facts. But if this show gets popping, you need to do stand up. Freak it.
Not if, when. We live in positive, man. When the show gets popping.
You're right. Also after this is a celly, this is a tool. I love that line, bro. I didn't catch everything that everybody caught. This is a celly, this is a tool. The camera is a tool. And I remember when I got my security guard license, you have to go to a class and stuff, and they say it's mostly trained by ex-police officers. And they said back in the day, the worst weapon to have on you was a gun. Now it's a camera phone. And that's so true. It's like, just record somebody saying something stupid, and the camera phone is actually a weapon right now.
Yeah, if you think about it, you're just as likely to get shot holding up a phone as you are to hold up a gun. I mean, think about a lot of videos you see people recording police officers. The first thing they say is put the phone away. Well,
because they don't, and I'm sorry to take this out of the police officer like this, though. I mean, how would you like a camera in your face all day doing your job,
Well, it's not like it's in your face all day long. It's in your face when someone thinks that things are elevating to a point where they need to document the situation. So it's not like you're walking around and people are having cameras in your face all day long. There's a point where some people feel that I feel that for my safety, I need to document this situation right now. People aren't just walking around filming police officers just to film them for no reason. It happens when something happens. It's reactive.
I think sometimes they pull it out before their safety is even necessary.
Well, when would they pull it out before they feel that they're not? I mean, so I drive my car. A police officer pulls up behind me. I don't just turn my phone on just to be like, oh shit, cops behind me. Like, I'm fortunate enough where I've never been in a situation where I need to turn my cell phone on in the presence of a police officer. But
right.
I don't think there's people who just are walking around turning the phone on. At least what you see in the video is they're turning it on when emotions are getting heightened and they feel that they need to record it. You usually, and that's the thing, and that's where things get jaded because you never see the whole confrontation. So I'm not saying that the person with the camera is in the right and the police are in the wrong, but you never see the full confrontation. You only see the highlights. You rarely ever see everything from start to finish. You always get to catch it at halftime, and again you get to watch the rest of the game. You never see it from kickoff.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, bro. Yeah, absolutely right. Hey, maybe that's a discussion we can have one day on the show.
No, that's definitely a dope discussion. I mean, everyone feels a different way about the way, whatever you want to call it, civilian police relations are in this world. I mean, but I also think that there's a lot of people who have a negative outlook on police officers, and there's so many great police officers that do things outside of the realm of the negativity that we see, and they don't get the same type of credit. And well, I don't want to call it credit because we're not giving bad police officers credit when we film them, or you see them on TV, but the notoriety. That's a better word. Good cops don't get the same amount of notoriety as what you would put as a quote unquote, bad cop. Something negative happens and everyone's talking about it. But it's very rare that you see something positive.
I actually have seen a little change in that.
But why too, right?
Where they say
because of camera phones. Because I just saw one right as I finished that sentence. I just remember one I saw a few days ago with the police officer who the lady flagged down the cop, saved the baby.
Save the Baby. I was just about to say that one. You know exactly which one I'm talking about. So there has been a little change in that. Now, I don't know if that was just only Fox News or what, but there has been a little change on Shine. And then just yesterday, I believe, Donald Trump giving the medal to the lady that was shot down.
Yeah. I was picking up my rental car when I saw that. I mean, I watched part of it, but I don't know.
My cousin works by the precinct.
I mean, I'm not trying to be a dick, but whenever I see the president on TV, I tune a lot of it out. And I kind of wait for I wait for the cliff notes later, and whatever is like really important, I'll soak that in. But we had discussion before. I pay more attention to local level politics than I do to the president. I don't really vibe with what he's doing, so I'll leave it at that. I don't want to turn this into a crazy political discussion, but I saw him on the news. I saw what he was doing. I saw him talking to the people. I don't think. Sometimes I feel like what he says is not genuine. I feel like there's no compassion behind his words. Someone told him to say it. They gave him a speech. He came out there. He said what he had to say, and then he goes back to being who he is, at least who he's portrayed to be, and who I feel he is personally. But yeah, when I see him on TV, I don't pay much attention. I just kind of zone it out, and I'll get debriefed later by the internet. And I know that's probably horrible. People are gonna hate me in the comments saying I shouldn't listen to get my news from the internet, but it is what it is. Most of our news comes from the internet. Not many people sit down and watch the news at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. They want the information right away. You know, you go on your phone. You got all these widgets and pop-ups. Like I get my news from my cell phone. I get my news from the computer. I don't get a lot of news from TV, and I never ever read the newspaper ever.
I'm gonna move on from this one real quick. T.I. got refused, I think, into his own house, right? His own gated community.
This guy got arrested in his gated community. How much of an idiot are you?
How? I mean, I don't know, Gooch. If this doesn't scream racism to me, what does, bro?
Well, he got arrested for what? Drunken disorderly conduct or something like that?
But it's your gated community. That's basically your house.
It's your house, but I live in a gated community. So if you come to my address, you come to my house, you can't get in unless I put you on the list. So, even if you have my address, there's still a gate that separates you from me. So for T.I. to get busted in his own community, was he drunk within his community and somebody called on him, or was he driving back to his community drunk and then he got past the gate and then the cops were like, let us in because this guy's drunk? Like, do you know?
No, they said no, because I watch the news 24/7 on my job. So supposedly the security guard wasn't letting him in, and even after the family said it was okay, they still did not let him in. And the cops came and arrested him. This is, and they put those labels on him. This is what I'm talking about. And maybe T.I. was drunk and he was like, yo, let me the fuck in my house.
I mean, he wasn't really drunk. He just had a few brews.
Do we know that for facts?
Nah, that was a Kanye line.
Oh, what? Oh. That's my line. Freaking. I don't know, man. Does T.I. deserve this? If I live in a gated community and my family's saying it's okay for me to get in, you should let me in. But gated communities are like 10 miles long. Like, you are passing houses and stuff. I understand that. And cars coming out. So, I don't know.
Okay, so I just quickly looked at it real quick. It says apparently T.I. and a friend were attempting to get into the community and they didn't have a key. After he was let in, T.I. returned to the guardhouse to continue the argument. So that's where his mistake was made.
Oh, he returned.
Yeah, according to TMZ, it says once they were allowed in, T.I. returned to continue the disagreement. So, okay, so peep this. My community, I know the guards. Like, I don't know them personally. I don't know their names. I don't need to know their names. Don't think I'm bougie. I don't need to know their names. But
bro, that sounded mad bougie.
I don't need to know their names.
That's just me telling you. You sounded mad bougie right now. Go ahead.
I don't need to know their names. On my card is a sticker. It lets me into the community. I go past a little radar. It opens the door, lets me in. If I'm out of the community and I do not have a sticker, like let's say I rent a car, I got to go in through the main gate. If I don't have my ID, even though it's my community, I live there, they won't let me in.
Right.
So what I would have to do, which is crazy, is even though I live there, like I would have to call, they would call my number, which is me, because that's the phone number they're supposed to dial when a guest comes, and then to prove that it's actually me, even though this motherfucker see me 100 times. So that's why I don't need to know your name, because you see me 100 times and you still make me give you ID to come in. So obviously T.I. lives in a community just like that where it's tight-knit, and he probably went in there, he didn't have his key or he didn't have the proper credentials to get in, and whatever, they let him in, and he didn't let it go. He went back to argue with them, which it happens. I've done that too, but I never got arrested for it.
I think his fault. I think if he was drinking and he just had a few brews, like you said, I think his fault was going back to argue that night. He should have complained that morning.
Who? T.I.?
T.I. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? If you're drunk, you got a little liquid energy, you got a little liquid courage, like
you got the macchiato on you.
Yeah, you go back and you know, because he said he's with a friend, so maybe this is what happened. T.I. comes to the guard gate. He's like, "Yo, it's T.I. Let me in." And the guy's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Harris. I need your identification." He said, "I don't need no ID. I'm T.I.P." And he was like, "Sorry, Mr. Harris. I need your identification." And he probably got mad belligerent. You know, the guy was just doing his job. And that's what it is at the end of the day.
Bro, you probably broke down the situation 1,000% the way it happened.
Yeah, I mean, he probably was like, "Yo, I'm T.I." And the guy knows exactly who he is, but that's his job. That's his job. If you're told that you can't let nobody in without ID, then you risk losing your job over letting somebody in without ID. So he just did his job. Somebody maybe came to the gate, showed them whatever they need to show him to let him get in. T.I. came in, and T.I. was still pissed. You know, he had a couple beers in him. He had, you know, his pride. He went back and was like, "Yo, I'm on this side of the gate now. You know, I live here. I told you I live here. I told you I live here." I mean, I just read the article, and it said, like, the guard was not physically attacked or was not touched, but he feared that he may have been attacked due to the way he was acting. So he did what he had to do. This guy, you don't know the guard. You don't know his situation. That's his job. He's not trying to lose his job over somebody getting drunk. So shout out to the guard. You listening? You did the right thing.
Yeah, facts. Shout out. It reminds me of the security guard that blocked Kevin Hart from getting on the stage for the Super Bowl. And Kevin Hart said that, you know, he wants to thank that security guard himself. Because he said, that man right there is doing his job. Like, you know, you have a job. If I'm security and I'm not allowed to you on stage without something that says press, or a management comes up to me and tells me, we need press, or they're not allowed, and then I see Star from Star and Buck Wild tell me, let me on stage, but he don't have a press pass, I'm going to be like, look, I'm a fan, Star, but I need that press pass. Because now what you're doing, what people don't realize when they're in that celebrity status too, they're putting that person's job in jeopardy.
That's exactly it. That right there, that's it. What you said is exactly it. That guard, that's his job. That's how he feeds his family.
Oh, actually, this happened to me recently. I'm working as a doorman at Great Neck. And it was actually my first couple months. Some guy comes behind the desk. He said, "Oh, where this girl's at?" And he goes up. So I call management right away. Oh, this person just came here. He didn't tell me who he was. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. He was actually a big wig, big wig's driver. And then he came downstairs, and they were laughing about it, and they were like, "Oh, that's so and so." And I was like, I'm sorry. And then he was like, "What you sorry about? You were doing your job. You did it good." And now every day he comes in and gives me a handshake and stuff.
Like, for, definitely, I hear what you're saying, though. For me, I used to work at a video game shop, and it was in Glen Cove. And that's where, if you remember that TV show, Growing Up Gotti?
Yeah.
So those kids, the Carmine, I don't really know their names. Whatever. They lived over there, and they used to shop at that video game store. But they were young. They weren't adults yet. So when you want to buy like a mature game, you need ID that says you're over 18 to buy it. So they would come in with, straight cash to buy a bunch of games, but they were mature games. Now, we have to scan the ID of an adult person to buy it for every transaction. So they would be pissed at me because I'd be like, "Yo, come on, guy. You don't have ID." And then they would go to, they would go outside. They always came in like this big black Escalade. And they would go outside, and then with their bodyguard or whoever it was, some big, 400-pound dude would come in there. He'll be mad upset because he had to, roll out of the big-ass car to come pay for the game for them with his ID. But, yo, I'm doing my job. I'm not trying to lose my job because you want to play Grand Theft Auto.
Right.
But, yeah, man. Yo, shout out to the guard. Shout out to T.I. Sorry you had a rough night, but get your shit together, man. It's 2018.
Now, our favorite boy, our favorite new rapper is getting into some problems himself. Tekashi 6ix9ine, I'm still a fan of his. I'm going to say that. Versus Trip Red, and then he's saying, "Oh, I fuck you and your dead homies," and stuff. This is, you know what it is? I'm 34, and it is so reminiscent of a 50 Cent, where I mean, I might be wrong, but I don't see this kid going anywhere but the top.
Yeah, but I don't think he's not gonna have the longevity of 50 Cent. Let's not get gassed. I mean,
you don't think that's gonna happen?
He's not gonna have the longevity.
No, because you know what happened with 50? Shady
50 Cent grew. No.
So if he gets a shady signature,
I don't think so.
He also needed that shady signature, though.
I think that helped propel him, but I think 50 would have been. I think that helped propel him, but I don't think that was a make or break deal with 50 Cent. With Tekashi, he's not going to be around in 10 years.
Tekashi?
No, Tekashi probably won't be around in 6 years.
Yeah.
No, I don't
know, man.
I mean, his music is great. Don't get me wrong. People are going to say we're stupid for saying he makes great music, but he makes catchy music. I mean, he makes music that hypes you up. So, and that's the music I want to listen to right now. So, salute to Tekashi. I mean, but I don't think that formula is going to last in this climate of music for 10 years. It's not. You're not going to be able to do that for 10 years. And I don't really care what happened with him and Trippie Redd. I don't listen to Trippie Redd. I saw one video where they were shooting like zombies, and I didn't even like the song. I don't like Travis Scott. He was also in the song. So I don't really fuck with Trippie Redd.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I think if we had like a segment called the Here to Say segment, my pick would be Tekashi. I mean, I might be wrong, but
no, you're welcome to have whatever. You're welcome for whatever pick you want to have. I mean, personally, I wouldn't. When you say here to stay, how long do you say here to stay? Here to stay for what? You're talking what type of longevity? You talking 10 years for Tekashi? I don't think that's going to happen.
Definitely over 6 years. Definitely over 6 years. I mean, he hasn't even got a record deal yet. He hasn't even got a record, which takes like a year, 2 years and stuff. I would say a 6 year. It's pretty much guaranteed on him. So I don't know.
So you're saying in 2024, Tekashi is still going to be making music that people are going to listen to.
Right now, my opinion, yes. Yes.
I mean, that's your opinion. I say 3 years, 4 years tops.
You give him 4 years tops?
Yeah, I give him 4 years. We're gonna hit a new era, and what his formula right now is not gonna work. It's working now, but I don't think it's gonna last for 6 years. I mean, I hope it does. I'm not wishing him any ill fate because I do like him. I'm a fan of his for sure. I just don't think what he's doing he's not in it for the long game. You know.
I saw he is doing a couple mistakes. I talked to a friend of mine before, and he said what he likes about Tekashi is he was like, yo, you remember Big Pun and Fat Joe and stuff? And they were like, oh, I'm Puerto Rican and I'm dope, and I'm Spanish and I'm dope. He was like, Tekashi doesn't even, he's not the one that brings it up. He doesn't bring up like, yo, I'm Mexican. Like, he's just chilling. And he was like, that's going to be his gold mine, which I kind of found interesting. And then and Tekashi started doing reggaeton videos. And he did a couple of reggaeton songs, and the views are really landing. So, is that one of the things that attract you to Tekashi also? Well, no, I mean pause, but at 34, why should we say pause anymore?
No, what I like about him is I feel that he's very raw. Like, I mean, I know that sounds like very generic to say, but I feel like he's just raw. I feel like it's untrained. You know, like what he puts out is all real. So all his beat. I like every beat that he puts out. I feel like every beat that he drops is hard.
And let's not forget that he got 50 Cent co-signing him.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't say it's a huge 50 Cent co-sign. He had that little Instagram video of 50 Cent, but I mean, it's not like you hear 50 Cent say anything else about him after that one day.
No, he tweeted about him.
Yeah, that one day.
He said Tekashi once.
Within those 2 days.
Yeah, but that's a cosign, bro. If 50 Cent tweeted, "I'm Gucci and not runs New York," you wouldn't be. I'll even take it to battle rap. 50 Cent
battle
said
rap
that
is washed.
I know it's washed, bro. I know it's washed. But I mean, this part of my history, you gotta let me talk about it a little bit. Freaking 50 Cent said that Big T was his favorite battle rapper, and off of that night, Big T got like 300,000 more followers, and he started feeling himself.
Yeah, but you know what you could do with all the, you know what 3,000 followers will get you?
What?
I mean, when's the last time that you were like at the bank and you deposited 300,000 followers.
Yeah, but that's being a little sarcastic. You know where he got you, bro. Followers get you more people than.
I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I'm being a realist right now.
Well, followers give you more of the odds of the chances of making money. More followers give you more chances to sell your CDs, more chances of people buy your battles, more chances for you to be on demand. Like, you know, like, you got more. There's a couple of people I follow to out of nowhere, and I think I bought something off of them. Like,
no, I feel you.
Shit.
I mean, I'm not trying to be a hater. I mean, I'm just saying, like, what does that get you? I think it's what you do with that following is what's important. Having a large following means nothing if you're not utilizing it. So you can have as many followers as you want. If you're not utilizing those followers properly, then what's the point of having those followers and getting those songs?
You gotta understand a lot of these battle rappers do, but they only understand battle rap. You know, I mean, that's where Kanye West comes into the game too. I think that's why a lot of people look up to Kanye West when they see what he actually built for himself. You know, and how much is he worth?
Kanye, I don't know how much he's worth.
All right, well, hold on. I'll say this much. I see some shit on Tekashi. If he doesn't get killed or in jail by the time this kid is 26, like 50 Cent said it on Power the Dollar. If I ain't dead or rich by the time I'm 26, I'll be dead. If I ain't rich or in jail by the time I'm 26, I'll be dead. Some shit like that. I butchered a line. But Tekashi's that next dude for me. Like, I think this is the dude to follow. That's my opinion.
Nah, definitely. I agree with you on that. I don't see him being around that long. But I hope he is, though. I hope he is. I just don't. I need to see more now. Then the one thing I never really loved about Tekashi was how you get a preview of a song and then you don't hear anything about it for like weeks and weeks and weeks, and like so I've been waiting to hear the full track Bloodwalk. Never came out, and now he teased that new track Tati, and it's nothing. You know, because like I've already listened to Day 69 enough times. Like I'm done listening to it. Like I still got Kuda and Billy on my playlist, but that's about it. I'm done listening to the whole project as a whole right now. It definitely had replay value, but like maybe like 3-4 times. But now I'm done listening to it, and you kind of want more. But you know, when you look at where he is now, kind of being unsigned. You have other artists who are unsigned who are consecutively dropping music, and it's almost like he has his fans like held hostage waiting for music. That's one negative thing that I feel is with him.
Yeah, what he said about Tekashi was definitely true, man. And I don't know, man. Like I said, I'll say it again, man. I'm a fan. So, you know, when Tekashi blows up, he already blew up, but at least consider me a fan. DJ Academics, I'm not so sure. But I don't find a reason with DJ Academics' friendship with Tekashi has anything to do with him. Like, you meet somebody, you're cool with them, you guys can't hang out. Like, that's a little corny. Shout out to Joe Budden for his Revolt deal. Joe Budden got a Revolt deal. I don't know what the paycheck is, but it must be great. And, you know, like, yo, Gooch, you there?
Yeah, man, I hear you. Definitely shout out to Joe Budden. Is it the deal for the whole show or just an individual deal with Joe?
No, I think it's an individual deal with Joe. Joe, like, from what they were talking with the video release, Rory don't. How does something like that work out? Let's say URL contacts me and says, "Yo, Jesse, we want to sign you, but not Gooch." Would I have to subcontract you?
I guess maybe you'd have to pay me for my service to your show.
And who even figures that out, right? Because I feel like Mal and Rory are just as significant part of the show as Joe is.
Yeah. It's a whole. Every one of those people on the show is everyone there is part of that recipe. It's not just it's Joe Budden Podcast by name, but everyone there plays their part, and everyone there is a part of the success of that show.
Right. I feel that way about Battle Rap Arena.
Yeah, it was dope, but I mean, you know, some people got big headed about it, and shit fell apart.
No, but I'm saying I was listening to like old episodes and Psycho played his part. You know, I played my part and Norris played his part when he was in part and stuff. Like, and you played your part. Like,
I had nothing really to do with Battle Rap Arena. I helped with the graphics in the beginning, and then, you know, we don't have to get too deep in that, but it is what it is. When money gets involved with certain things, it changes people. And that's all I'm gonna say about it.
Yeah.
It was a dope show. It was definitely a game changer. It was monumental. Respect to you for what you did and bringing that to the forefront. But yeah, man, you know, when you add,
it's funny you bring that. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I just feel like when you sprinkle in profits amongst people who don't know each other, it's hard to make it work.
Well, you were part of it.
I don't really consider myself part of Battle Rap Arena. I helped out in the beginning. You know, you reached out. You said, "Yo, this is what we're trying to do. What can you help me with?" You know, I definitely always was there to support with the graphic design element of it, and, you know, logos and all that stuff. But basically, the way I feel about that show, I'm not going to get too deep into it. Like when you start making a profit off of something like that with people that you don't know, some people get big headed about it, and shit kind of goes sideways. That's all I'm saying. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I didn't even take profit in the beginning of it.
It shouldn't be, but that's the thing. Like, it shouldn't be about profit. Like, if you really love, like I enjoy doing this. Like, it potentially one day could this become something bigger? For sure, that'd be great. But would that change how I feel about it? Like, I don't want that to be my only goal. Like, I look at it like I enjoy having this conversation and sharing it with everyone else. That's how I feel about Two Broke Dads.
Yo, Gooch, you're absolutely right on that. And you know why? Because, hold on, I want to bring up Joe Budden Podcast for being a little bit of fraud right here. First of all, they say they don't make no money off of advertising, which I guarantee is true. They do a podcast, but you don't think Joe Budden gets a partnership with YouTube? You don't think he gets money off of that?
Well, so the way the YouTube partnership works is, you know, when you get your 1,000 subscribers, then you can start monetizing your videos. But maybe he's not talking about monetization. Maybe he's talking about just advertisement. Maybe there is not advertisers who are going to them saying,
"Nah, he's definitely on. He's definitely monetized."
I would say for sure because someone is. If it's not him, then someone's.
That's why Jason says Joe Budden Podcast.